Constitutional Framework. Indian Councils Act, 1909. This act was popularly known as Morley-Minto Reforms. Lord Morley was the then Secretary of State for India. Lord Minto was the then Viceroy of India. Changed the name from Central Legislative Council to the Imperial Legislative Council. The maximum number of nominated and elected members of the Legislative Council at the center was increased from 16 to 60, excluding ex officio members. It provided for the first time the association of Indians with the executive councils of the Viceroy and governors. Satyendra Prasad Sinha became the first Indian to join the Viceroy's Executive Council. He was appointed as a law member. It introduced the system of communal representation for Muslims. Lord Minto came to be known as the father of communal electorate. Government of India Act, 1919. The Government of India Act, 1919 was based to a great extent on the Montagu-Chelmsford Report. It has a separate preamble which declared that the objective of the British government is gradual introduction of responsible government in India by the introduction of this act, bicameral legislature, was established in the centre. The upper house was known as the Council of State and the lower house was named as Central Legislative Assembly. The membership of the upper house was fixed at 60 members while the lower house consisted of 146 members. Black Circle. The upper house was elected for 5 years and the lower house for 3 years. Black Circle separate electorate was retained for minorities. The system of diarchy was introduced in the provinces. The provincial subjects were divided into reserved and transferred ones. The subjects were divided between the center and provinces. The central subjects were defense, foreign affairs, currency, railway and telecommunication. The provincial subjects included education, health, irrigation and local government. The Governor-General's Executive Council was responsible to the Secretary of State for India who was sitting in London. The Governor-General retained the right to certify any legislation which he considered essential. The Act provided for the establishment of a Public Service Commission, PSC, in India for the first time. Simon Commission was constituted for reporting the condition of India under British. The Commission recommended the abolition of diarchy system and extension of responsible government. Government of India Act, 1935. It provided for the establishment of an all India federation consisting of provinces and princely states as units, but the federation never came into being as the princely states didn't join it. The act divided the powers between the center and units by 3 lists: federal list for center with 59 items, provincial list for provinces with 54 items, and the concurrent list for both with 36 items. Residuary powers were given to the viceroy. It introduced provincial autonomy instead of diarchy in the provinces. It introduced responsible governments in provinces. The governor was required to act with the advice of ministers responsible to the provincial legislature. The provinces were now autonomous units of administration in their own fixed spheres. It provided for the diarchy at the center. Thus, the federal subjects were divided into reserved subjects and transferred subjects, but this provision did not come into operation at all. Black Circle. It introduced bicameralism in 6 out of 11 provinces: Bengal, Bombay, Madras, Bihar, Assam and the United Provinces. Black Circle. There was a legislative council, upper house, and a legislative assembly, lower house. However, many restrictions were placed on them.